Hello and welcome to part one of my rubbish. I'm not saying I'm fat or heavy or anything, but I did want to make sure it was going to be solid, so I did kind of over-engineer the bracket, the supports underneath. You can come and watch me make a film of myself on YouTube. Hello and welcome to more fun with the transporter van. A few years ago I made a fold out bed where we could put a mattress on and go camping in it, originally for a Kendal Calling concert. I only had like a week or two to think of something, build something, get it in so we could go camping in time. So I came up with this. So it's a combi van. You have seats in the back, so you've got the double over there that folds, but the one that fits here doesn't fold flat, which is really annoying. I think the later ones do, but this version doesn't. This is a 2015. So I have to take that one out every time, but anyway, not a problem. I just made a permanent shelf in the back with sides that lift up, so if you go bodyboarding, whatever, you can put the your bodyboards facing up so they're out of the way, or anything else that's quite tall out of the way. And then this panel, which is like a double panel that folds in half, that's hinged there, and it's held in here with these. I'll talk about them in a minute. At the front I've made a separate panel, and all I've done is I've removed the original lashing points and replace them with these bolts, and I'll give you the size of those later on in the video. Just simple bracket, simple frame, covered it in fabric, carpet, and just like a extra catch on this side and the other side just to keep this in place. So this is a support, this is a bifold panel that folds up and just folds in half, and I normally put it into the back there out of the way. And that's all fine and dandy and wonderful, but this, I tend to over-engineer my stuff, so I'm not saying I'm fat or heavy or anything, but I did want to make sure it was going to be solid, so I did kind of over-engineer the bracket, the supports underneath, and I also use plywood that's made from hardwood and not the usual cheaper soft variety, which can get a bit soggy and dip and whatever, especially in a humid van camping environment. I'm probably overthinking that, but that's the way I am. And it's great, it works, it's fine. There's a frame under here for the second part down there, and I've got some bolt threaded nuts in there, and I just put this through there into that, and then this just locks that into this, and it's a full king size bed, and it's great, it's lovely. The only problem, this wood, of being hardwood, is a lot heavier than the softwood. So lifting it in and out and screwing everything in, it takes some time, much to the annoyance of my family, who say I take about 3 hours to set the van up, but you know, hey. So I'm going to change it, try and improve it and speed things up. I'm going to keep this as it is, that's fine. But instead I'm going to put hinges here and there, so this folds onto there and this just folds out like a concertina, and it'll just, I don't need to mess around screwing things in and that anymore. That's the plan. The little problem I do have is these, and the fact that the van is on an arch and a bit of a bend like this, and these slightly get in the way, even though that's not really in the way there, it kind of is there. So when I lift that up, it's going to catch on this, and I'm not going to be able to move this panel and fold it down over there. So there's a couple of options. One is I can cut out the piece here and on the opposite side, and that would probably get round that problem. But then I've got the same issue here, because when this is folded out, this is full size, so I don't particularly want to do that. So instead, I think I'm going to, as much as I don't want to, cut this panel roughly in half so it matches the height of about there. So when this is folded over, it's only going to be this high, which is going to be lower than the seatbelt mount. Because this is it cut in half. This is going to fold that way. It's difficult to show you when I'm holding the camera with the other hand, but there you go. I've thought this through. You can tell this is a professional channel, can't you? This is going to be cut in half, so the height of this is going to be lower than this when I'm unfolding this. But I'm hoping that will speed everything up as well. Also, I think I might do something about this leg thing here. I'm tempted just to get those spring-loaded metal legs that you can buy for tables and just have them go in there, because this is overkill. Again, this isn't moving, but it's not moving anywhere anyway. I mean, we've camped in here a few times now, and it's just nothing's going anywhere. So I'm going to try simplify it, make it easier to use, and you can come and watch me make a film of myself on YouTube. Come on. One other thing I've done at the back here is make a little Range Rover seat. So with clips there, and there, pops down, and there you go. You can see the world go past. I've dismantled the shelf that I made for the bed base. You can see here in all its glory. I've marked up where I'm going to cut it, which is roughly about halfway, with some masking tape. The reason I'm using masking tape is this carpet is a pig when it gets sawdust and things on it, so I'm going to put a bit of curtains either side, and this will hopefully stop the wood splinters, everything getting into it, because you can't get rid of the damn thing. Right, so I'll get the jigsaw out and we'll give it a go. There you go. Best laid plans, eh? Oof. Still works. Right, so I've got hinges from Wix. So I've got two sets of these. I'm going to put them on there, and there. And this panel's going to hinge back on itself, so that should be fairly straightforward. I'm just going to screw them onto there, and that will be that. The second part of this is, before I do that, I'm going to put some material back on the inside. You don't need this really, but I just want to make sure it just looks good. So I've got some of the offcuts of this carpet from when I made all of this, and I'm just going to cut them up and put them on this side and also on the opposing panel before I put the hinges on. So that's the next job. Come on. Right, so I've cut some bits. They don't have to be perfectly straight at the moment, they're just to cover it. When the glue sets, we can just trim the excess off. So that's my magic impact adhesive glue again. Get some carpet just to cover this for a minute. And I'll just turn it upside down. Remember, the kind of flat side is the underside and the soft fluffy side is the top. I'm good with my technical terms, aren't I? A shake and a quick spray, and hope this doesn't clog up. Give that a clean, and we'll give that a minute or two to dry. I'm not going to put glue on the wood this time. I'm not going to let this dry too much. I'm just going to put it on because I'm going to put a few staples on anyway, just to give it a bit of extra strength. Right, so I'm going to put the hinges on. I just got these from Wix. They're only cheap, but I thought I needed 3. The screws that came with it are fine, but for me, for this, and because I do tend to over-engineer, I've gone for something slightly longer. So I'm not going to use those. So because they're longer, I'm going to drill into there. Now, this is kind of lined up where it was before I cut it. And just put this on because it's going to fall back onto itself. You don't have to be especially accurate with this particular bit, but anyway. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is that's fine as it is. So this is the base that's going to be folded onto itself, and this usually folds out here and rests on these legs that I've made. Now previously I would use those bolts and just screw through there into that, but we're not going to need to do that anymore because I'm putting hinges on. Now these hinges, they're not normal feet hinges, they're ones that you can release. So you push in and they come apart, and the reason I wanted that is because I don't always want this in the van, and if we are going to go like bodyboarding or whatever, then I have to start messing around cutting this because I can't open the sides, and it's just extra weight as well. You don't need it, just using fuel for no reason. So that's why I decided to put these on, so we can always take this off when we need to. And I'm just going to probably put one there and one about there, and it's not taking any weight because all the weight is on this, so it's just to keep it in position really, so it's not that critical. Yeah, I'll put it about here. I think I'll put it in line with that wedge, so we'll do that. Finally, after some faffing around with the hinges and everything, trying to get everything aligned, the first part of this bed conversion's done. I've ordered some spring-loaded hinges, so I'm not going to use the bracket that I made before for the feet at the other end, which I'll show you in a minute. Instead I'm going to have some feet in here, legs in here, folded in, they're going to just pop out, so make it even easier. Anyway, right, this is like just a shell, just to stop things flying forwards, which we found out on a few trips that happens. So these are just held on with these bolts that I've shown you. One on that side, one on this side. And on the underside you've got T-nuts, which are knocked into the wood and I've got a thread in there that fits these. I think these are M10, but I'll check that for you. Right, so we'll take this out, and I've got the new version. So these are removable hinges. You just squeeze them and the whole thing pops out. And all we need to do is pull that forward, keep it low, goes there, pull it again, keep it low, and that folds flat and lies on top of the, oh there's an echo in here, lies on top of the legs, which are going to be replaced later on. And then we just put our mattress on the top, and that's that. The other thing I can't really get around is these, because they're release hinges, they're difficult to, they're quite large. So I might put like a vinyl flap or something over the top just to protect the material when I put a mattress over the top. But otherwise, that took me all of 30 seconds to do rather than the 3 hours that I used to do before. Right, on to the next part. Okay, let's get the legs sorted out. This is the original bracket I made for the bed when it folds flat onto here, and I would fit it into them, as I mentioned before. But I don't want that anymore. I just need the wood from this to make up some new legs, because I've bought some locking hinges, so you just push that. Difficult to do when you've got one hand on the camera. There you go, it opens up and it locks into position. Cheap enough. The only thing is I bought black ones thinking it'd be nice and subtle and fit in with everything else, but I think they just painted them, so that's coming off already. Never mind, it's not being outside, it's inside. So this channel isn't all about just leaking oil and getting covered in rust. It's about sustainability and making things last a bit longer, and also not wasting things. So I'm lucky enough that I've measured the height of the bed, which is 2 foot. It's resting on this floor, and that just happens to be half of this. So I'm going to use that batten and this one, cut them in half, recover the bits of carpet again, and reuse them as the new fold out legs for the bed. So come on then. These are the legs that go out there on those hinges. I'll show you those in a minute. And I just put a strap here, so it's just some strap material I had, and a couple of screws with some washers just to spread the load. I'll just lift that up and I'll show you how it goes. So that's down. I'll put some flaps on top of the hinges just to protect the mattress when I put that down. And now all I need to do is these legs. So I've got two. I've put a bit of Velcro just under there just to give it a bit, hold it a bit. So just release the leg with the Velcro underneath, push that down a bit. So I've got the clip there that you pull down, and that locks the leg in position. And do the same for the other side. So both legs are now locked in position. Then you can see that it's just high enough over the seat. I was going to put some additional legs here, just over this bit, but actually it doesn't need it. What I did find is this nice bit of foam. Just lift that up as fraction and stick it just on that seam there, and that just helps to take the weight. And that's it. We've got a nice, easy to remove and easy to put back base. Well, there you go. That's all done. I'll leave a diagram at the end of the video with the measurements just to give you a rough idea of sizing, including the lashing points on the floor. I think all the transporters are the same anyway. But I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.